If you feel hungry, then you need to bake this delicious loaf. Today on Baking Bread, we're making Hungarian potato bread. It's a rich and filling sandwich bread, and it'll tell you all about how the Hungarians roll. I'm Georg Matthes and I'm a European correspondent, but I also love to bake. So here's some food for thought from Hungary. To make a Hungarian potato bread, there are two things you need to do the night before baking. Boil potatoes and prepare a sourdough.
Mix 220 milliliters of lukewarm water with 100 grams of rye sourdough starter and 180 grams of medium rye flour. Cover and leave to rise overnight at room temperature.
Bread is sensitive to small changes in the proportions of ingredients, so you're best off sticking to the recipe in baking and in politics.
You know, if you're a member of a club and you sign a treaty, you want to be a member of the club, you apply the rules. You can't violate the rules, nor can you ignore the rules.
Or you end up in Hell's Kitchen. That's the EU's message to Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban.
The Conservative with the nickname Dictator got into serious trouble with Brussels for cracking down on independent media, NGOs and the justice system.
Physically, it's not easy.
Well, following this recipe at least is.
Take 150 milliliters of lukewarm water and add 225 grams of bread flour. Mix well and leave to rest for 30 minutes. Now mash 300 grams of boiled potatoes and mix in 90 milliliters of buttermilk.
This recipe really shows how well Hungarians can actually integrate new ingredients from abroad. Faced with a shortage of wheat during the Napoleonic Wars, the farmers decided to enrich their loaves with potatoes.
To the water-flour mix, add the sourdough and the mashed potato, as well as 380 grams of plain flour, 130 grams of light rye flour, 50 grams of honey, 20 grams of salt, and 1 teaspoon of caraway seeds. And knead in a stand mixer for 9 minutes.
Then shape the loaf.
It's too early.
That's right, I forgot to add 20 grams of lard.
Knead the dough for another 2 minutes and let it rest for 3 hours at room temperature.
Or should we say perhaps just 1 hour?
We have to follow the regulation.
Oh, is that so? Okay, so after 3 hours, place the dough on a lightly floured surface and work it into a round.
Using both hands, pull the dough towards you in the same manner as Brussels is trying to pull Viktor Orban closer to Europe. Place the dough in a floured proving basket and leave it to rise until it's doubled in volume.
Now we have a clear-cut solution, and a clear-cut legal position.
And a clear-cut loaf. Now you can get creative and make a unique pattern that identifies the loaf as your own.
Bake the bread for 40 minutes. First at 250 degrees Celsius and after 10 minutes at 200.
So this is the story.
And what a Hungarian, European, Latin American and tasty story it is. Thanks for watching, and if you're hungry for more bread recipes, click here.